Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video. Today, we're gonna have another kind of a personal small project I've been working on. It's nothing like super crazy, but I did want to share just in case anybody wanted to hopefully use the idea for a better project or just out of curiosity. So I'm sure all of you have heard about the ChatGPT and all the headlines it's been making about how great it is, how useful it is, and obviously as of now, we're going to be using ChatGPT online through our account. However, wouldn't it be cool to have ChatGPT in your pocket by just a text message away? So today I'm gonna demonstrate and do a tutorial on how you can actually transfer ChatGPT and use it as a text bot, right? And just simply text your questions and it will text you back kind of the response. Couple of requirements for this is gonna be an OpenAI account. I will walk through basically all the steps with you. Some of the steps may refer to a previous video that I've made, but I will post all the links below. And obviously, again, as always, the code will be available on GitHub for you guys to review and kind of use at your own discretion and for your own projects. So basically, the idea was simple. So I was like, I want to kind of make my own assistant. On ChatGPT, when it came out, I was like, there's so many cool projects you can kind of do with ChatGPT and the whole model AI that they have. And I was like, first thing I want to do is actually put it on my text message. I want to be able to text it, right, from wherever I am, and I want to get my responses back. And then from there, I will hopefully do a couple of more videos on expanding its functionality on some of the stuff that if I can think of any, and I'll add it. But without further ado, let's get started. So first, I'm gonna kind of demonstrate the whole OpenAI API and whatever they have. So over here, you can simply get to this page by actually going to OpenAI. From here, you can actually go to API at the top right here, right? From here, you can go to login, right? I will obviously log in. I might just blur some of the stuff out because I might not want you guys to see my personal emails. However, from here, you have actually a lot of options. So you can actually go to your account here and you can look at your kind of API keys. One thing that you should know about kind of the ChatGPT and the API is that it's not free to use as of now. I don't have a free workaround. However, one of the amazing things that OpenAI is doing is that they're giving you actually an $18 kind of startup money, right, on your account. And this for me, for example, expires on April 1st. So I still have about 3 to 4 months left to use it. However, obviously using ChatGPT is not that expensive. I've actually used it a lot to test my code to kind of do large text-based answers. And as you can see, I've only used 9 cents, right, out of the $18. So even if you do want to use your own money, it's definitely not something that will break the bank. So once you go to your account, you actually have a couple options. So here you can see how much usage you have, right? And you can see, for example, if I can actually bring a couple of my usages. I don't think it shows the kind of the past stuff right now, or because it's the new calendar year. But from here, we can actually go to the playground, right? The playground is kind of where we can test some stuff. So for example, here, you'll see kind of it working the same way as ChatGPT. On the right over here, you can select the model you want to use. So DaVinci 003 is kind of the most advanced GPT-3 model they have. And then if you obviously want to use a more simpler model, you can. And DaVinci does use, like, for example, more credit, right, than some of the simpler models. So simpler models basically means kind of not great of an answer, but they are cheaper to use. DaVinci means a more comprehensive answer. Here you can set kind of the temperature. So this controls the randomness and the maximum length. So this is the number of tokens. So as of now, I think ChatGPT has no token limit, or maybe like a very high token limit when you use it individually. However, obviously you don't want your paid service, right, to give you 1,000-word answer without you actually letting it to do so. So here you kind of set a maximum token limit. So for example, I've set it to 256 tokens. I'm not exactly sure how each. So actually it says right here, one token is roughly 4 characters for normal English. So every 4 characters is 1 token. Obviously at 256 times 4, right? You're looking about 1024 tokens, and that just honestly is a lot of actually characters. So for me, 250 or even 100 is still pretty good. So here you can still do what you normally do with ChatGPT. So for example, I can say, tell me a simple joke, and I can submit. And what did the fish say when it hit the wall? Damn, right? So obviously it still works the way it should. You can also go to your API keys, right? And you can see your API keys, you can make one and use it. Again, like the OpenAI does provide a lot of documentation and a lot of help. So here you can see a lot of kind of documentation for how to use the code, right? There's even some introduction, authentication, making requests. So you can see, for example, here in Python. So this is what I actually used, right, to get everything set up. And I will again obviously do a demonstration of the final code of my project as well. But before I do that, let's actually run through the code itself. So the code is written in simple Python. It's actually not a very complicated code. I do have a couple of classes that I'm using, and I will go through these. I will actually not go through Google Cal because that's kind of like a side project that I'm trying to add like functionality. Basically, you will use a .env file, right? Here you will have the phone number that you wanted to text back to. This is email user and email pass. So basically, the way the text messages work is that there's a lot of paid services where you can send a message and receive an automatic response. I wanted like a free to use service. So, for example, in Canada and the US, how some of the kind of providers work is that they provide an email service. So there's an email address. For example, for me, I'm with TELUS, so it will be I think at telus.mb, something like that. I will actually show you guys right here. But yeah, so for example, you have these email addresses, and when you put the phone number behind it, whatever email you send will actually be sent as a text message to that phone number, right? So what I'm basically doing is I'm sending a text message through my messages app to my email, right, as an MMS. My email keeps looking for new emails, takes that email, parses the kind of the text and uses it as a command, sends the request to OpenAI and the DaVinci 3 model, gets the response back, and then emails the response to that number, which I then receive as a text message, right? So here we can see SMS providers. So I have some of the 4 main ones in Canada, which are TELUS, Rogers, Bell. Kudos here, but I don't really use it. So depending on which provider you're on, you will want to use the MMS one. Only because the MMS one allows you for a better like continuous conversation type of thing instead of you sending an email and then it be coming back in a different number. But I can hopefully, like, it's just better to use the MMS through my testing. So this is basically the main file. Basically what this does is that it's an infinite loop, and it keeps kind of checking for new emails and make sure the email is not just a random email. It will be email of the type with like a phone number with a 10-digit phone number at the beginning. Then it will actually use, so I have a parses file here, which kind of does a lot of the cleanup for me. For example, get text body, right? This kind of gets the actual command itself from the message, because when you extract it and download it from the email using the kind of the IMAP protocol, you get it in like an HTML style. So you want to get rid of all the headers. You have a parse GPT response. So basically this is used to kind of clean up the response given by OpenAI because they send it as a JSON file. You have a validate sender. So this is basically what I use to make sure an email is not just a random email. An email is only valid if it starts with a 10-digit phone number, right? So here you basically kind of just receive the emails, right? So you use the SMS platform to either send email via email or send SMS via email, or sorry, receive SMS via email. Basically, all this does is that it uses your credentials to log into your email to either send an email or receive an email. I will not go through that in too much of a detail because it's just a simple email protocol. And then after we kind of do that, we validate the sender, right? If it's invalid, then we skip it. Then we say we got the email, right? We get the command itself. This is again part of the Google Calendar feature I'm trying to add, so we will skip that for now. And then we kind of send a response to the GPT OpenAI Connect. So here we kind of use our API key, right? We have our string, which is our command. We set a maximum token of default 100. We can set the maximum token to whatever number we like. And then it will kind of send a model using the model DaVinci, the command, the temperature, the max tokens, and then it will get the response back. So it's very, very simple to set up, right? So you have the response, you have the print, you have the send an SMS via email. So basically, after you kind of parse the response from GPT, right, you send it to the phone number that you had in your .env file. And then the exit file is that command exit. So how I'm basically setting up is that any command that has a question mark at the beginning is considered a command, right? It's like to kind of add functionality. Exit is basically just exits the loop and stops the program just in case. And if I'm basically like if I have schedule, right? You can see here if it's scheduled, then it does the kind of the Google Calendar thing. Again, I'll go through that in a different video. And then if I don't have a a command, then I just do a simple response and answer. Then this will just obviously use the send SMS via email and will send it back to me. So let's do a quick demonstration of how this actually works. So it's running right now. On my phone, I will just go to a previous conversation that I had with it, right? So basically, what I will, for example, do is I will say, tell me a joke, right? And I will send that. So I sent that on my phone, and you should see it right here. I will blur my phone number out, but you can see my phone number, for example, add MMS, and it says command, tell me a joke. It will then go through this part of the code, get a response, and I will get the response back as a text message. So it's kind of the ring light thing, but I will provide kind of a screen recording of how that works, right? And basically that's honestly pretty much it. It's a very, very simple to set up, and I will also do like an exit, and you can see it exiting here. So we'll again detect that command, hopefully, and exit, and it will quit the program. So yeah, very, very simple to set up. Again, not hard whatsoever. I hope the code helps you guys kind of get ideas of what you want to do with it. The kind of, I'll just go through this as well, but temp response, JSON and stuff. This basically is like I write the response from GPT to a JSON file and I parse it through there. But other than that, it's very straightforward. Hopefully this helps you guys kind of get ideas. If you do just simply want GPT as a text message or a text bot, then this will definitely let you set it up very, very easily. And the $18 that OpenAI gives you to kind of get started is a great help for kind of testing and project development. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I will put kind of a screen recording right now on the screen. So here you can see me send, for example, the command, tell me a joke. And after I wait a little, I will see a text message response back. And I will also demonstrate the exit command. I will not get a response back for the exit command. As of now, I did not add that functionality. But that's pretty much it. Again, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And ChatGPT is definitely going to change the world, so hopefully we can all tag along for the ride and use it for even cooler projects. Have a good day.